Okay, Monster Hunter Wilds is finally out. Can't wait to get in and go kill some monsters. Let's do this. I will be playing on PC for this. I have heard optimization isn't the greatest, but hopefully that's not much of an issue. If it is, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Not only that, but this is my first time playing on PC for any Monster Hunter game, so it might take some getting used to. There's going to be some growing pains, but yeah, just bear with me. Also, I'm going to be doing post commentary on this. I did actually attempt to do just live, but the sound quality was trash, so off to a good start. I'll try to kind of blend that in and make sure that the important parts of the audio of the game are present, but yeah, I'll try to cut around it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Jesus.
It is!
What do we do?
This is awful! Where do we go now? The village. It's you! This way.
What are you doing?
Nata, you can escape through here.
Escape?
People out there will help you.
But what about you?
Go on.
Wait!
Go!
Leave me!
Oh, come on. He could get through there. Well, it is a cliff, isn't it? Oh, but it's not that far of a drop. That guy could easily have just hopped down there and gone with him. Come on, Tashin, you sacrifice yourself for no goddamn reason. The Forbidden Lands, a region that was split from civilization over 1,000 years ago and thought to be deserted ever since.
Buffer zone and the Eastlands beyond, commonly known as the Forbidden Lands.
Weather?
Fair.
Inclemencies?
None.
Visibility?
None.
Dust haze.
The binoculars just have the, cover on it still.
Large monsters?
Clear.
Small monsters?
Clear.
Endemic life?
A number of native birds.
God damn, this game looks gorgeous.
All standard readings, sir.
It's the Defender armor. I remember that. It was a pretty big controversy back in World. Could start off really overpowered.
Other anomalies?
Down there. Someone's in trouble. Set us down along the desert perimeter. Can't be.
Just in the middle of the desert.
Are you all right? Can you hear me? He's still breathing.
Luarte.
Luarte. It's an ancient language.
Tend to him.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I don't see any serious injuries.
It's a good shot.
I thought the Forbidden Lands were uninhabited, sir.
It seems we must do a more thorough investigation.
That title drop and that music, oh, it's so good. I hope the music for this game is all as good as this right now. And from here we go into character creation. I'm just gonna skip past this for now. I'm more interested in showcasing the gameplay and the story, so we'll just skip past this. It is a pretty good character creator though, but feel free to experiment on your own playthrough. Time to name my character. I'll just be unoriginal and name it myself. Enter your Palico's name. I'll go with my usual tradition. I'm gonna name him Mr. Sir. It's actually one of my many nicknames for one of my real life cats I had growing up. And that should do it.
Let's do this.
So that is a pretty sweet looking sand ship. I'm sure we'll get all kinds of sand monsters.
So far. Oh, hey there.
Hey! Over here! Over here, Hunter!
Your reputation precedes you, Hunter. I trust you know what I've called you here to discuss.
Yes, sir. The Forbidden Lands?
Oh, we talk.
Indeed. But more precisely about the boy we rescued in the vicinity. Entry to the region itself has been restricted for 1,000 years. We thought it completely uninhabited. Any remnants of its ancient civilization rest solely in historical record. Now imagine our surprise to have discovered this boy. He claimed to be part of a clan, the Keepers. He said they have a village in a land we thought uninhabited for ages. A few years have passed, but the Academy, of course, has remained skeptical.
This village. Is there evidence it exists?
Nothing absolute, but the mysterious composition of the boy's pendant suggests it might. And as for how we came to rescue the boy,
Sir?
We found him in the desert.
it seems a certain monster had forced him to flee. It attacked his village, and he escaped alone. Unfortunately, the underground tunnel he used to make his escape collapsed. We found him, took him in, and here we are.
Do we know the status of the village?
Unknown.
And of the monster?
Unknown. However, the scholars hypothesize that it may be a monster, which we thought to have perished long ago.
An extinct species?
They're calling it the White Wraith. The Guild has authorized the rescue of the Keepers and an investigation into this monster. I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Finding the village won't be easy. You'll need the proper guide. Speaking of which, I have an extra assignment for you.
Hello, my name is Alma.
Our handler, I guess?
It's okay. Great, and you?
Nada. You get nada.
As soon as we find a good
Gemma?
spot,
Gemma?
we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
Alma. Probably the handler.
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
Look!
I like what they're doing with the storytelling so far. They already have the main character speaking. That's already a big step to outdoing world.
There's so many.
They're exceptionally agitated. Could they be chasing something?
It's That's a person! Bring us closer!
And crash right into them!
Then what do we do? Hold on. What's that?
That's our ride.
Can you reach it?
I have to try.
Okay, so I didn't really look at any of the like demo stuff or really any like pre-gameplay footage, but I know around here you take control. Yep, alright, here we go. We seem to have control. Well, sort of. I can control the camera at least. I'm not really sure if I'm controlling the bird right now or if it's just like a delayed kind of input thing, but it kind of feels like I'm just on the rails right now. I mean, this does all look very cinematic, so it's probably just like this for a little bit. Yeah, right now I'm just pressing forward. There's no like jump button right now. Okay, yeah, I definitely remember this part from the trailer. The gliding looks pretty sick. I wonder if you can do that in combat and just like jump off and do a leaping attack. That'd be pretty awesome. Okay, inputs. Oh boy. Okay, so right click to aim at a wing drake and then F to grab a screamer pod. Hello? Oh, there we go. Aha, and okay, now we get a cutscene. Come on, my little dinosaur chocobo thing. Okay, so the slinger is back, but I wonder if they're gonna bring back the clutch claw. I know a lot of people were really against that, because then every hunt just evolves into wall bang, and then enrage, and then rinse and repeat. I'm not even sure. Maybe people already know this about the game already, but I have no idea. I kinda hope they leave it out. I will say aiming with the mouse does feel pretty nice. I feel I have a lot more precision than with an analog stick. It's also pretty cool that you can use your slinger from your mount. I don't remember if you could do that in Rise, but I think that's new. Come to think of it, I don't think you even had a slinger in Rise. Oh, is Mr. Sir launching bombs over there? Does he have his own mount? If so, that's pretty OP. Hey, there we go. Starting to get a hang of these controls. Okay, it looks like we almost made it back to our ship, but oh no, what's this? It's a dinosaur. Cue the musical sting. Ah, hell yeah, is that a greatsword? Or wait, well, is that a greatsword or a longsword? Ah, okay, I think that's definitely a greatsword. Yeah, okay, that's the greatsword stance. I think.
Here. You're okay now.
Smoot?
Hey, it's okay. You're safe now.
Yo.
So much for this region being uninhabited.
She reminds me of that one Game of Thrones character. What is it, Brienne of Tarth? Yeah, that armored lady on the right looks exactly like her.
Isai?
He got carted.
What came? One of the things that was chasing you earlier? It's okay. And your brother, where is he? He told me to run. And he stayed.
No one dies in Monster Hunter. You just get carted and go back to camp.
Can you tell us where he is?
The Sacred. He knows Isai's scent.
Let's find him.
I'm with you. Everyone else, focus on scouting for a campsite.
Understood. Just send a signal if you need backup.
We'll leave some supplies for you. I'll keep an eye on these two.
We're moving out. Coming.
Please, take these people to save Isai.
We're counting on you.
Come with me, okay? Don't worry, I'll be back soon.
Okay.
Come on. Be careful out there! We will!
Okay, so we have a little camp here at the Oasis. That's nice.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Feels a little weird controlling this with WASD, to be honest.
Oh, that's right. Have you decided on a weapon?
Not really. Not really. There are 14 weapon types that a hunter can use on a hunt, each with its own unique attacks and handling. Greatsword features slow, heavy movements, but each strike packs a punch. Try out different weapon types to find the perfect fit for your playstyle. Okie dokie. I mean, I am a fan of the Greatsword, but starting with the Greatsword is not something I usually do. I don't really want a recommendation though. I kind of want to just come to my own conclusion. So I'm going to say yes.
Wonderful. In that case, equip yourself and we'll be on our way.
So, let's take a look at our options. I know longsword is like kinda the, I don't want to say easy mode, but I like the longsword in World, so maybe I'll start with that until I get a good feel for the controls, and then I'll switch to something else. I plan to kind of experiment around. I'm going to be playing this for a long time, so start with what I know, and then kind of branch out a little more. I'm curious what each weapon feels like in this game compared to World, though. So we'll see. We'll see.
Once you've got a feel for the weapon, we'll head out.
Okay. That's our overhead. How fast is this going if I rapid? Okay. Okay. So that's just click, right click. There's we do like there's like shift. No. Oh, man. Okay, that's kind of nice. You just scroll for your weapon or your items. That's a pretty big advantage, I'd say, for playing on PC. Crouch. Ready weapon. Overhead slash. Rising slash. R in wait, what is this? R and oh, spirit charge. position to get into it. Oh, but you can just release it whenever, I suppose. Ah, okay. That's the Spirit Thrust, which I imagine goes into Helm Splitter. Focus mode. Wait, what's focus mode? What's the input? The fuck? What is that? I don't even know. Is that on? I'm sure there's gonna be a tutorial on it later. How do we do like down slash? Oh, just tap on for that kind of thing. Ah, okay. Foresight slash. Alright, I think I know how to play Longsword now. More or less. I'll kind of get into it. Then sheath. Oh, automatically sheaths? If you just stand still for a second. So there, or tap E, I guess. Oh shit, didn't want to do that, but whatever.
Ow.
E is use item. Okay. Moving on to secret. Use tab to mount your sacred, whatever, and move automatically toward your objective. Oh, so it is automatic. Use WASD during auto move to steer your sacred using manual movement. You will return to auto move after some time with no input, or you can reactivate with tab. Okay.
All right. Let's have the secret follow the scent. Wow, these sacred are quite intelligent.
Got the,
Give them a scent and they'll follow it on their own.
You said it. Can I? Okay, so you can pick up stuff while you're mounted. Is there like a run button? Oh, burst polygons.
Did you hear that?
Okay. Do we have a monster already?
Down there.
Okay, this feels very worldy. Okay, and just like that, we're at our first hunt. It is nice that they let you train at the camp first before doing the first hunt. I think that's actually a really nice touch, so you can get a feel for the controls and the weapon you want to use before getting straight into combat. I'm pretty sure back in World, you just go straight into Zora Magnaros, and that is kind of intimidating as a new player. I don't think there's actually any combat the first time you go into Zorah Magdaros, but I think it is just a bit too high stakes for that early on in the game. And in Wilds, you've got an intense chase scene, and then you've got this, but I just feel like this eases you into it a little more than World, which is just like, bam, you've got the huge island-sized monster, go climb him. But yeah, as a starting point for this game, I think this boss is totally fine. It's very serviceable. There's not a whole lot to say about him, but he's just an early punching bag for you. A punching bag that can kind of punch back sometimes, but doesn't ever punch too hard. Here again they give a focus mode tutorial, but the icon is pretty weird looking. I mentioned this earlier in the video, but just to voice it, the button for focus mode on mouse and keyboard is the back button on the side of your mouse. At least for me, that's how it is. But yeah, that icon is like, it's like, what angle are they showing the mouse from? So I had to just look it up, and everyone was also like, yeah, it's confusing, but there you go. As you can see here, I'm just poking at him with the longsword and not doing any specials or anything, and it's working out fine. If I had committed to muscle memory how to do all the counters and, foresight slash and all that, I'm sure this would have been way faster and easier, but, first time on mouse and keyboard playing a Monster Hunter game, gonna be a little clunky. But yeah, it's any way you slice it, he's gonna go down without too much trouble. I guess I did do a few spirit slashes, but didn't do any like counters or foresight slash, just, super basic stuff. That's all you really need. Now here in the top left, you see that I'm now in the red gauge of the longsword. So to explain, every time you land the final hit of the Spirit Slash combo, your spirit gauge goes up 1 level. So I've done that 3 times, meaning I went from white to yellow to red. Actually, it would be 4 times because you need to go from base to white to yellow to red. And typically how it works is the higher you are in spirit gauge, the more damage you'll be outputting, and you can expend that with special moves like Helm Splitter. But also it looks like in this game, when you're in red, even your base moveset of slashing just is a lot faster, so that is pretty interesting. That is a new change. And here you can see I'm just wailing away at him and not really using any special moves or anything, but just having that red meter is, it's a damage buff, so he's taking the full brunt of that right now. Now, since my meter has gone back down to yellow, I need to do another, final hit of the spirit combo to get back up to red. And hey, how about that? I pulled off a Helm Splitter. So yeah, now the controls had started to click. So that was pretty satisfying, even just watching that back. Also, to get into focus mode a little bit, I hadn't figured out how focus mode worked at this point. I've mentioned the button input being weird, but if you do that, you can target wounds, and when you hit a wound, it has like a little reticle around the damage number. So it's very easy to tell when you've landed that hit on a wound, and that'll do bonus damage, so you really want to aim for that. And since this bit is post-commentary, using focus mode for certain weapons is just insane. Like, if you have a greatsword, I think a lot of the problem with using the greatsword was, you're likely to whiff a huge hit, so you're locked in place, charging. Sure, you can tackle out of it or roll, but for the most part, you're going to be locked in place. And if the monster moves slightly, you might not be able to get the hit on the part you wanted, But focus mode lets you kind of free aim, and that is insanely useful for heavy hitting weapons. I haven't really tested it out much with longsword or other lighter weapons, but it is very nice, and it's just a free thing you have at all times, so I really like focus mode. Although, you know, it might make things quite a bit easier for those weapons, but it's still quite a challenge. You still need to land the hit and position yourself accordingly. So just to go over the tutorial on screen right now, the special sheath, that is your bread and butter for counters for the longsword. It's very useful, but I didn't really mess with it for this fight. So on mouse and keyboard, the input to go into special sheath is R and space. And then when an enemy is just about to hit you, if you tap R, you'll perform a very powerful counter, an EI counter I believe it's called. And if I remember correctly in World, this would deplete 1 bar of meter regardless, but I'm not sure how it works in Wilds. Like if you land it or whiff, I'm not sure if you'll lose a meter or if you're able to just do it now, which would be insane. But I'd need to do some testing to see how it works in this game. Looking back at the clip where I landed that Helm Splitter, it does look like you do lose a meter when you land Helm Splitter, so I would assume it works the same way with the counters. All of those are kind of considered, you know, your special moves, so when you land it, it'll decrease and then you have to work your way back up. And honestly, I hope that's the case. I would want the longsword to feel, you know, as balanced as possible. I know a lot of people have been kind of negative on longsword for it being too OP, especially in Rise. Rise's longsword was absolutely overpowered, but I mean, you can have fun with being overpowered. It's still an enjoyable thing, but you know, if you're too reliant on it, I think you're kind of stunting your own growth in a way, because rather than learning the fight, you're just relying on this tool that's just really, really useful. But I will say, it is really fun when you do learn the fight properly, and then you use an OP weapon, and you just obliterate it in, you know, 2 minutes flat or something crazy like that. It is satisfying, so I can't deny that. But yeah, I do look forward to trying out all the different weapons in the game and, you know, seeing what works best. I do tend to stick to greatsword, longsword, and maybe charge blade sometimes, but I'll try to branch out in this game and try, you know, just about everything over time. I think some fights really do lend themselves to certain weapons, and if you're playing as, you know, a great sword main and you are against a fast monster, sometimes that's just kind of a headache. So I do find, you know, being loyal to one weapon type is not always the best thing to do, but you'll get really good at using that weapon in any situation, so there's that. Okay, getting back into the fight, we see that the monster is pretty heavily wounded, and when I strike a wound, we'll see that reticle around the damage numbers, and it'll be a little more orange. And if we were to go into focus mode and look at the monster, we would see those points glowing red, but we'll see examples of that later on. But yeah, targeting wounds is a great way to break parts, it's a great way to get the monster down, and you'll get more damage by doing so. So hitting the weak point, you'll get more damage in. Getting it down, you'll have a huge window to damage the monster. So it's just in your best interest to do that as much as possible. And if I'm not mistaken, the monster looks like it's in an exhausted state right now, so that means that its attack speed is going to be slower, it's just going to be generally easier to deal with. But we also have these insects that are, surrounding us, so that is an issue. But in a normal situation where you have just you and the monster and it's exhausted, it is a lot easier to get in hits, and you want to take advantage of windows like that. And right about now, the monster is weak, so it's going to start running away more, and I'll just skip ahead to the next section where we're back in the fight. Okay, so now we're approaching the boss again, and it looks like it is sleeping, so this is a great opportunity to use a barrel bomb. Okay, so here I'm actually going to freeze frame to explain what to do on Wake Up with monsters. I believe sleeping enemies take bonus damage on the first hit on Wake Up, so you want to make that hit as big as possible. Because at the moment I'm using longsword, I just decide to use slinger ammo to explode the barrel and wake up the monster. But if you're using a greatsword, the optimal thing to do would be to place the bomb barrel next to the monster's head and then perform a true charge slash so that the second hit of the true charge slash hits the bomb and the monster's head at the same time, so that it'll take that much extra damage. Longsword users can also take advantage of the explosion if they're in special sheath and perform an EI counter when the explosion pops off, so that the greatsword user gets that big hit and then the EI counter from the longsword user goes off. That is some good synergy, but that's obviously a multiplayer kind of synergy. Okay, so let's see a bomb barrel in action. Here I just aim at the barrel and shoot, and we get a clean 110 damage. Okay, I actually did go into special sheath and went for a counter. I think that hit, but it only did 30 damage, so I'm not entirely sure. My meter did not go down though. And boom, there it is. The first hunt is done. I mean, it's longsword. Oh, you can actually walk on them. They have like collision and everything. That's pretty cool. Before you just like phase through them. So yeah, here I do kind of rag on the longsword a little bit, but I don't mean it. I don't mean it. I still love playing the longsword. I just recognize it tears things up a little too efficiently. Oh, I don't think I can actually drop down. Oh wait, yeah you can. You just have to, you just gotta want it. You know? Give me 10 seconds. Crystal iron ore. Macalite ore. Macalite ore what? I'm not sorry.
We're over here.
Okay, for the end of this quest, there is basically just a few cutscenes, and you go back to base camp, but I will keep this in just for full context. Is Mr. Sir just walking?
It's safe now. There.
God damn, this game looks so good.
Thank the winds.
Allow us to introduce ourselves.
Wait. Hold on. Did you really do that? There's no way you should have been able to.
I'm a pretty big deal.
How?
We came because your sister said you were in trouble.
Nona! Where is she? She's safe, don't worry.
We'll take you to her, all right?
Hey! You made it! What a fascinating creature.
Any trouble finding us?
None at all, thanks to your flare.
Base camp.
You must be Isai. Please, this way.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hey, Hunter. Back already? Good work.
Hey, your sister's just over there.
She's been worried, Sec. Hurry.
This is a pretty well-protected spot.
We could do a lot worse for an interim camp. This way.
Just a quick checkup. I'm telling you, we just need some space. She's fine.
But she needs aftercare.
Which we're perfectly capable of.
Nona!
Isai, you're okay!
Thank the winds.
You see? She's fine. Now scram. Go. Back to your stations. We'll fill us in later.
I didn't properly thank you before. Everything just happened so fast. I didn't know what to say. Thank you so much.
Thank
Is
you.
10.
I'm Isai. My sister and I are from a nearby village.
My name is Nona. It's wonderful to meet you. I'm Alma. The others and I are here on a search. We're from a place far out west.
What happened back there? Where's your village? Can you tell us more about Sacred? Let's go with this for now.
How did you end up in that situation back there?
Oh, it was all my fault. I was careless. I was helping Nona with riding practice, and a giant toad snuck up on us. I told Nona to run for it while I got its attention, but when my Sacred and I tried to get away, he slipped, and we fell into that cave. And so, who exactly are the two of you?
Oh, right. We must have really surprised you earlier.
Forgive me for my lack of understanding, but you use those tools? I've never seen anything like that before.
Back where we're from, specialists use these tools to protect others from large creatures. With the understanding that they're never to be brandished at other people, of course. Only those with special permission are allowed to use them.
Tools? Specialists? Permission? It's all new to me. But I'm just glad you were there.
Where's your village? Yeah, I feel like that's an
Where's this village you say you're from?
important question.
It's just a short distance away by Sacred. Nona and I live there with our grandmother.
Would you happen to know of a tribe called the Keepers?
The Keepers? No, I don't. Sorry.
Ah, okay, so they are
I see.
Different
That's okay.
from the
We're actually
first
helping our friend here
cave.
find his home. His people. They're called the Keepers.
The Keepers, huh?
They're like the goalies of the Monster Hunter world.
Sorry. I don't remember ever hearing that name before. But our elder, she might know something.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us borrow your Sacred earlier. They were a tremendous help.
Did you train them in your village?
Yes. We raised them from eggs and trained them ourselves. They're invaluable to us as companions.
They're so intelligent. They really came through for us back there.
I know, right? They're great at sensing and avoiding trouble. And at remembering scents. But they're pretty tricky to handle. So not everyone's cut out for riding them. Take this guy, for example. He won't let just anyone ride him. He's almost too smart for his own good. So, when I saw him take to you so easily, I was really impressed. You must have a gift.
Alright. I think we'll...
That won't do to keep you talking. Let's take a look at those wounds.
Mission complete. Okay, that's all for this one. If you watched to the end, thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. And yeah, I will definitely want to continue this. I'm a big Monster Hunter fan. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Later.